Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you all. Just coming to you in this afternoon to explain a few things, to explain work time and tackle hours. So I've been having a few people asking questions about how do I know when to do what, which mode should I be, what's going on. So I'm going to explain firstly the 6-hour rule. 6-hour rule simply narrates the 6 hours, narrates that for every 6 hours that you work, you must take a break. So when you are a driver, you're not allowed to spend 6 hours straight without taking a break. That has nothing to do with if you've driven for how long or if you've driven at all. As long as you start with the tachograph card, you set your tachograph and start the shift. You need to have a rest before 6 hours, a break, should I say. Right. So in that time of break or of rest, it can be 15 minutes as the minimum, or up to 1 hour, or up to 30 minutes, or whatever, depending on the arrangement with your employer. And this applies to everyone who works in whatever field. Right. So now, how does it work with someone who is also a driver? You are mandated to take, it is mandatory for you to take a break before 6 hours, regardless of how many hours you do. So the reason why I'm mentioning how many hours you've driven is because sometimes you realize you drive for 3 hours and then 6 hours you have lapsed. How is that? You wake up, you just start your shift. Maybe there's loading happening, there's waiting happening, there's offloading happening. But in all that process, 6 hours lapse. Now, what do you do then? So it is very important that before 6 hours lapse, take a break. Okay, you can take a break of 30 minutes, you can take of 45 minutes or whatever, but you need to take a break. Right, then we are done with 6 hours. In that very 6 hours, if you drive, depending on what comes first, sometimes you drive for 6 hours, for 3 hours or for 4.5 hours, but before 6 hours lapse. So if you drive for 4.5 hours, make sure your rest is 45 minutes. If you don't drive for 4.5 hours, but you have worked for 6 hours, make sure you rest or you take a break for at least 30 minutes or 15 minutes, let's just say for 15 minutes, but make sure before 9 hours, you have rested for a period of 45 minutes. Right. Before 9 hours, 45 minutes, 4.5 hours driving, 45 minutes. So why are we saying that? We are saying everyone who is working, be it in the warehouse, be it whatever shift that you do in the shop or whatever, if you work more than 9 hours, must have a break of 45 minutes. If you are a truck driver or what driver you are driving, you need to have a break of at least, what is that? You have a break of 45 minutes for 4.5, another 45 minutes for another 4.5. That you can split into 15 and 30, right, as a driver. So many people are asking me, okay, what happens now we are waiting? Waiting is part of work, right? Waiting is part of work. You have not taken a break. You must take a break. And that you do on the tachograph, you change to break mode, okay? Right. Then we go to, what do? You are loading. When you are loading, you are at work. When you're offloading, you are at work. So the kind of work that we have is this: loading, offloading, waiting, and driving. These are the 4 modes of work, right? 4. Waiting, you are working. Loading, you are waiting. Offloading, you are working. Driving, you are also working. Very important to use that, to know that, right? So if you have any question that you don't understand on the tachograph and the work hours, and if you're still confused, I've just given you a brief explanation. If you are confused by anything of that, please comment down below and subscribe. If you're new, please subscribe, like the channel, so that we keep on giving information, and you also have to be helped in whatever way that is possible. Each time we put any video, the idea is to help somebody. So please don't get to see don't scroll without learning what's going on, without viewing or even listening. It is very important for you. We are looking to create drivers in the next generations that we have understood the concept. Drivers who do not have infringements. Drivers who don't lose money, who don't lose their licenses because of doing wrong things. Please subscribe. Subscribe, Momo. Thank you very much.